Hello everyone, welcome to SLOconf 2023. My name is Ricardo Castro, and today we're going to talk about a common SRE anti-pattern, which is the lack of reliability framework. What do we have on the agenda for today? So we're going to talk about the life of Rick. So Rick is an engineer who has just joined the company, and we're going to see the difficulties that Rick is having in his new role. And then we'll see, based on Rick's story, why a reliability framework is important. So let's meet Rick. So this is Rick. Rick is a new SRE who just joined his new company, and he's been tasked with the humongous task of making systems more reliable. And it's essentially what he's been told, that systems need to be more reliable, the services that the company provides need to be more reliable. Rick is not sure about what that means exactly, so he does the sensible thing, which is try to tackle big things that are happening. So there are obvious things that he could help with and tackle just to make sure that the company improves its reliability. For example, if the service is constantly getting down, Rick can help doing that. If somehow the service is slow and customers are complaining, Rick can try to look into it and see how he can help improve that situation. But after a while, Rick starts struggling. So Rick notices that he keeps jumping from fire to fire. So maybe in the beginning he started to tackle the issue that the site is always down, then he went to some problem with some users complaining that some operation is kind of slow. It's kind of slow, and essentially everything that Rick does is constantly jumping from one issue to the other. This means that he has no time for project work, no time for actually do improvements to the system, to improve observability. He just jumps from fire to fire. Another thing that Rick struggles is that he has no clear definition of what reliability means for the company and for the organization as a whole. This also means that depending on who he speaks to, reliability has a different meaning. So essentially, Rick was tasked with making things more reliable, but he has no way of actually saying what reliability means, how we can measure it, and how we can assess it on a regular basis. And unfortunately, that's a common pattern that many of us engineers struggle with. So just having this task of making systems and making things more reliable, but not having a clear definition of what it is, and depending on who we speak with, reliability means different things. So what Rick needs is actually a reliability framework. So why is this important? So a reliability framework will give Rick and all of us a clear definition of reliability. So a reliability framework should help us make crystal clear within a definition or several definitions of what it means for a system to be reliable. So here is just an example of how we can define reliability for a specific service. So we can say that 99% of requests to a service need to be responded within 200 milliseconds within a 30-day rolling window. This is crystal clear, it makes sense for a specific service, and it's measurable, and we can assess it on a regular basis. And it's very, very clear what it means for us, this specific service to be reliable. Having a reliability framework is also important because it creates a shared language to talk about reliability. So the goal here is to have a framework that allows a certain team to talk to another team and they all converge on the same definition of reliability. No more about this talk when team A says reliability for me means X and team B saying but reliability for me means Y. So as a whole, we can have a shared language and a common lingo to actually approach reliability and actually define it. Of course, having a reliability framework facilitates prioritization. So for example, if we have no error budget available, this means that we can't have more incidents, for example. It means that we need to prioritize reliability work. But if we are within error budget bounds, this means that we can deploy new features and actually make some experiments because we still have error budget that we can play with. And last but not least, having a reliability framework is important because it allows reliability work to tie directly to business goals. So we can define reliability more in terms of business goals than technical details, for example. So we could have a definition of reliability meaning something like 99% of checkouts have to be successful within a 30-day rolling window. This means that we would need to translate checkouts into exactly what a checkout means in technical details. For example, it could be the error rate that the checkout process is exporting, the latency that those requests have, and those all combined would mean within a definition that checkouts are or not successful. But by having this definition, it means that whatever work that we do in terms of reliability goes directly and maps out directly to business goals. And of course, having customers happy is good for business. So reliability work is good for business. So if you're struggling with finding a reliability framework, and the SLO framework is a good one. And because we are in the SLO conference, it makes sense to talk a little bit about SLOs. So if you don't really know what SLOs are or you're having trouble implementing, here is some reading material that I highly recommend you go through to actually understand this, what we mean by SLOs and reliability. So the first two books are the books released by Google about reliability engineering. The first one is the famous Site Reliability Engineering, and the second one is the Site Reliability Workbook. Those are the books that actually were released from Google and made a lot of brouhaha in the community, and that gave birth to so big popularity around SRE. And there's a lot of written work there about SLOs. But if I had to recommend just one book, it would be the book from our own Alex Hidalgo about implementing service level objectives. Like the title says, it has a practical guide to SLIs, SLOs, and HR budget, and I really enjoyed this book, and I highly recommend it. And this was all from my part. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you a glimpse of why a reliability framework is important. And don't hesitate to contact me on social and keep this discussion going. Hope you enjoyed this talk. Have a great day.